Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are here with us and enjoying yourself and have a wonderful day. Okay, so I'm back working on the Mopar and I haven't worked on it in a long time. And I decided, hey, I'm gonna start working on it. And the first thing I decided to do was paint the engine. Don't ask me why. I was just, well, I guess I can tell you why. Um, I was planning on actually selling this motor, and I wanted it to look good for the seller, and they were going to be able to hear it run and all that. So, but now being that I'm decided not to, and we're going to get to that here right now. So, what my plan was for, I don't care who hates it or who don't, but my plan was to pull this motor out and put either a LS 536048 or a Coyote 50 in it. But and turbo it. I was gonna put a turbo, on it and make boost and have fun and just do the typical everyday hot rodder thing that people are doing today, and they've been doing it for years. But I was like, I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, if I pull this motor and sell it, let's say I get what I want out of it, then I gotta turn around, make the other motor fit. LS's, this is a Mopar, so LS's run a rear sump oil pan, and a Mopar runs a mid sump oil pan, and a Ford runs usually a front sump oil pan. So if I put a Ford in it, I have to modify the oil pan or get an oil pan that will fit this chassis. Same thing with the LS. If I want to fit it in this chassis, I either have to modify an LS oil pan, buy a sheet metal oil pan, which they do sell, and cut it and make it a mid-sump oil pan. And so I was like, okay, well, that's not a big deal. It's not that bad. But then I started thinking, I was like, this motor only has like 53,000 original miles. I still have the Chrysler New Yorker it come out of. And I was like, it's 8.2-to-1 compression, which everybody claims that, oh, it's great for boost. It's great when people didn't know how to tune, but now you can tune a boosted engine 12, 13-to-1. We have capabilities with that. But people was not unfamiliar when the whole low compression thing boost was popular. They just didn't know how to tune them because it was new, something that they hadn't done that much. And blower cars, they always lowered the compression with, the pistons and everything. So that was just a safety. Is basically all it is it's just a safety. So this is a safe motor then for boost, 8.2-to-1 compression. So my idea is I'm like, well, why don't I just buy an intake, buy a set of headers, buy cam heads, and make this motor make to the tires with the low compression 400 big block. I would honestly agree that it would probably make 300 to the wheels to 350. I'm not as familiar with the 400s as I am with the 383s and the 440s. So I kind of rank it in the middle of the horsepower number there. So to the tire is what I like. I don't care about your flywheel horsepower, all that, because then you got to take a mathematical equation to, to drivetrain loss and everything else and do all that. And you get it pretty close. So, but I'm like, why don't I just turbo this motor now, just like it is, put it on 7 to 8 pounds of boost, and have a time with it, so, and then upgrade it as I'm driving it. So that's what my plan is right now, is just to buy an eBay turbo, throw it on there, have fun with it. So I really was like debating on pulling this motor out because there's so many reasons why, guys. So let's show you. There's no room right here. You can see the manifolds. And from my understanding, you can't flip these manifolds because everything I've seen, you can't flip a Mopar manifold because a big block one because the ports don't work or line up. So I think it shifts everything forward or backwards. I can't remember. But you can see it's really close to the steering. I had to actually grind on it, the manifold some, take some material off to get it to clear. So right down there on the steering arms. Yeah, the brake lines look horrible. We're going to redo them again because the car's been setting out here for, honestly, like 3 years. So then you got this side, and this manifold's pretty straightforward. It goes down, curves up, curves down. My plan is, though, I'm thinking about taking this exhaust manifold, and I can't really see, but cutting open, like taking the exhaust, running it down back this way, like taking this piece, cutting it, flipping it, and getting it just to run back forward. Probably going to remove this big bulky alternator bracket because it's just up so high. It was made for the Chrysler. It's what was on there. It works fine, but it bring one down mostly closer to the block down this way. Maybe run a 1-wire Chevy alternator because you can't see it, but because there's the bracket's in the way. But there's a bolt hole down there, and you know how if you're a Chrysler person, there's one. You got a sleeve, and then the bolt goes through it, and then that's your alternator, and then you got one bracket at the bottom. I think I have that bracket, by the way, from my previous 440 big block that I built years ago. And then just do this, kind of try to do the same to both sides, like run the exhaust back up. And maybe cut this area out. This is where I made the homemade battery box because there was none in here. Battery tray, and just, put the turbo maybe right in this area here. I want to try to keep power steering, but if I can't keep power steering, it's okay. But I really would like to keep the power steering. It works so good. But I was thinking about just pulling the motor out and taking the oil pan off, doing the oil drain on the bottom, because drilling into it, you can put tape on the bit and put grease on the bit and then change your oil, and that'll keep a lot of the shavings out, and put a magnet on there too, like a drain plug magnet. But I'm just like, I want to paint this engine compartment because it looks horrible. If I'm going to do this work to this engine, I want it to look good. So I'm willing to do things that I wouldn't normally do. Like I've cut this core support. It had a lip on it. I cut the lip off, and as you can see it's bent in because I hammered it in a little ways to clear the clutch fan. And right now it's just a wire hitting, power wire. But yeah, nothing hits it. It does just like it's supposed to. And it cools really good. This motor has never, it gave me problems with cooling. But that's kind of my plan. I thought about just throwing a nitrous kit on it and beating the hell out of it. But my other plan is, I thought about, they make the shorty manifolds, and they go straight down in the middle. Literally, they go just straight down. They're like for, I guess, street rods, and they look kind of like something for a Model T, 32 Ford. So I don't know, Model A, whatever. I'm not familiar with that, so y'all can correct me if you want. But they just go straight down, and they're down already. They're not raised up like this. And I thought about getting those. I think they're $131, and cutting the driver's side one to flip the flange. And then, if I have to do that, and then have it coming up, but make a manifold, make a log style manifold that V-bands up here. Just weld a V-band on it, make a log style manifold. Because they make a manifold for the big block Mopar, and it's $1,100. And all it is a piece of exhaust tubing with the 4 pipes coming off of it into a flange. That's all it is. It's not TIG welded. It doesn't look anything special. It probably is very high quality, but it just doesn't. It doesn't. I don't even know what it is. It don't even look cast steel. It looks like exhaust pipe, exhaust tubing. So it is welded together pieces. So, but that's my plan, is to turbo this motor. I really want to do it because I'm looking at it like, if I buy heads, cam, intake, everything, like all the basic mods that people do to any modern motor, well, you're talking about with heads, cam, intake, everything. Because if I do it, I really just gonna go ahead and do a roller cam when I do a camshaft to this motor. Because I just would rather deal with a roller, because I've dealt with flat tappets through the years, and I hate the headache of the breaking in process. I mean, yeah, I've never had an issue. I've never flattened a set of lifters on break-in. I've literally ran them with whatever oil I could get a hold of, and they run fine. I just don't like knowing that I've had, a bunch of friends flatten lobes. And that could be user error, because that's just how it is sometimes. But I've never had that issue. But I would rather just go ahead and put a roller cam in it, because rollers are more efficient anyway. There's just a lot of benefits to a roller cam. So if I do one, I'm going to do a roller. Probably take the fan off if I have to, put electric fans on it. I don't prefer electric fans, but I prefer a clutch fan over electric fan any day, because it's just guaranteed cooling. Because the biggest thing about a clutch fan is, if the clutch goes out, it locks. I've never seen one not freeze. Like, it just becomes a solid, normal mechanical fan at that point. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I'm gonna probably start getting ready to yank this motor out. In the next video, you'll see that, and just do what I gotta do to get everything right. I've already taken the carburetor off, the wirings off of it. I mean, it's so funny. This car's wiring, I wired this thing to perfection, in my opinion. It looks horrible over here, but literally, there's your wires for the engine, and then there's your cool, which is a Chevrolet, whatever it's called, the HDI or HID or whatever the fuck that thing's called. $30 for that, and that eliminates the Dodge. And this is another reason why I want to eliminate that alternator, is because this is a voltage regulator for the alternator. I would rather have the voltage regulator built in. So I would rather just get rid of this to have less wires. I'm trying to simplify this. And I never tried to tie those wires up the right way. I just literally just ran them, and that was it. So, talking about wiring quick and on a budget. And then I put a Ford solenoid on it, and I've got those wires. And look at all those extra wires I've got. So I've got to go through them and get them sorted. But yeah, I want to paint this engine compartment and then put a turbo on it. That's my plan. I don't care what anybody says. That's what I'm doing. And we're going to do it. So, all right, guys. Thanks.